And one of the candidates running for Bourbonnais mayor is David Zinnani. He's with the People's Choice Party, and he joins us this morning. Good morning, Dave. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you on the program. Appreciate it. So, Dave, you're right now the Park District, Bourbonnais Township Park District president.
Yes.
Yes. So now you're running for mayor. What motivated you to take on this new challenge?
Well, I got in the Park District. I was looking for more things to do. I was 30-year policeman for the Sheriff's Department and wanted to help people more. And so I got in the Park District, and then I started seeing some things that I thought I could change in village government in Bourbonnais. I'm from Bourbonnais. I was born and raised in Bourbonnais. My parents were still alive in Bourbonnais. I have 10 grandchildren that live in Bourbonnais, three of my 5 children. I'll have 13 grandchildren at the end of it. So, well, wow. Not at the end of it, at very soon.
Very soon.
And I just think I can make some positive changes. It's that time. People want change.
Okay.
I'm a change agent.
There you go.
All right.
So how does your Park District experience inform you and your vision for the village?
I'm very good at partnerships. I've helped the Park District to open up our doors to other partners, programming, and I'm a conservative guy, so I cut wasteful spending from the Park District. We reinvested in our parks. We updated the Perry Farm. It was in not very good condition, the farmstead, which is possibly, I'm told by Dr. Paul from KCC, that is possibly the oldest farmstead in Illinois.
Oh.
1830s. So that became a project of mine to make sure that lasts for a long time.
Yeah.
And the Park District has really helped me to, my experiences with the Sheriff's Department, they sent me to training to be a leader and how to run government agencies. And that's what I'm doing.
There you
go. Your opponent has about 10 years of experience as a village trustee. How do you distinguish your leadership approach and your priorities from him?
I think that my opponent is a continuation of the past administration. I am a new face, a new vision. I'm a little aggressive with cutting wasteful spending. I think that, we have a lot of issues that we need fixed. Bourbonnais is a great place. It's clean. It's, everything's pretty good. It could be better. The taxes have remained fairly okay, but that's going to change. The federal government is out of hand. The state government, in my opinion, is out of hand, and we don't need the local government to be, out of hand. So I want to control that spending. I don't know if my opponent can do that. He's just a continuation, like I said, and I'm a change agent.
Okay, you have criticized a culture of ineptitude and lethargy under the current administration. Can you pinpoint some specific examples of and how you might address those as mayor?
Yep, I think what happens is in government is people get in for a little bit too long. My opponent stressed term limits, or he's been there for 10 years, and basically I believe sitting on his hands. I mean, I got on the board for the Park District, and immediately when I saw problems, I brought them up and made change as a board member. The ineptitude comes from some decision making when you're in government and you get comfortable with spending people's money. I believe that fiscal responsibility is important. The money that we ask for is the people's money. When we get that money, it's still the people's money. When we spend the money, I still believe it's the people's money. And I don't think that we think that way right now. All forms of government, not just locally. So I think I can change that mentality. I believe that we made some poor decisions with our sewer system. I don't think it was thought out all the way. I don't think people understood that it was going to go up the way it was going to go up. I'm not sure we have the money to fix that now, but I'll sure try. Our law enforcement, it's been neglected. We have a great police department. And we have a great community. It's safe, but it can be better. I'm a big school safety guy. And I was a school resource officer, and I think we could do a little, enhance the school safety stuff. There's dissension in the police department. That should have been addressed right away. I'm not afraid to make change. I think currently people are afraid to make change. It may make some people unhappy, but you have to move forward. You have to fix things that are broken. So, I don't know. There's a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
We're speaking to David Zinnani this morning, the People's Choice Party candidate for Bourbonnais mayor. So you just brought up the sewer, and you've voiced your concerns about back in, was it 2021, when the village sold the water system to Aqua, and you've raised concerns about the bills, high water bills. How would you, as mayor, how would you tackle utility costs and infrastructure?
Well, I think, first of all, when they started, you can't change the water bill per se, Aqua, because the government said they could raise the rates. We should have fought that then. I believe there was a deal before that at Olivet or something, and nobody went to dispute it or ask questions. The sewer deal's a different story. I think we sold it because we were tired of billing people. We were tired of maintaining it, and it was an easy way. We've sold it before and bought it back. I don't understand why that happened. I'm going to dig and find out why that happened. But the reason why we sell it and buy it back, it doesn't make any sense. I was told that our system may be worth near $100 million to replace, and we sold it for $30 million. I don't know if we have the money to buy it back, but if we can buy it back, we can lower our rates. If we can't, at least we can stop it from getting worse, because they've proposed an expansion that's been since taken off the table because we, lit people's fires and got them involved. So that's off the table for now, but it's going to get put back on the table, and I'm against that. I believe that when we appoint someone to that board, it has to be an expert in that field, so we're properly informed of what they're doing and what we should do for the people. I believe in fiscal responsibility. We have to do what's right for the people, and it's not going into a contract that's going to double and triple water bills. The expansion is going to cost us probably double again, maybe triple. I've seen the paperwork on it. I've seen how it's going to go up. The fourth year, it goes up like 60%. So at the end of the next mayor's term, it's going to jump 60% more, the sewer, not the water. We're not talking about the water now, the sewer. So that's we may not be able to stop it, but we can stop it from continuing to rise at a rapid rate.
Okay.
If we can buy it back, we'll buy it back. I'm not so sure that we can afford it.
Okay.
There was an existing independent sewer system for the village of Bourbonnais? When we're talking about having sold it, what was sold?
We sold the sewer lines.
I see.
To Aqua in the past. I was told 2 times, but then somebody told me no, it was only happened once before, and we bought it back. Well, I don't know if we sold it because it needed repairs and we bought it back because it was repaired, or vice versa. They say it needs repairs now. Nobody wanted to pay for that. It was a lot less than probably people are going to pay for that forever now. We could have maybe bonded the money or used existing monies to slowly start repairing it, or maybe we could have maintained it properly to where we didn't have to spend so much money on repairing it now. I'm just getting my hands into that, and I'll know more. I believe that I've always, in everything I've ever done, I go to the extremes to know everything about what I'm doing. From law enforcement to being in a canine unit. I went all around the country to learn about dogs. I got in emergency management. I went all over the country to learn about emergency management. Same thing with the board. I'm on the park district. I did everything I can do to learn all about it legally, and I went to different park districts and just constantly educating myself. And I'll do the same thing as mayor. I'll get out there and I'll hunt down the best policies.
Economic growth has been a hot topic, especially with the $75 million investment at the interchange there, yielding so far some not limited results. What's your strategy to attract new businesses to that?
Well, you got to be aggressive, and you got to get out there to trade shows and trade summits, and you have to hunt down prospects, and you got to make it maybe not so hard to develop that area. Right now, Bradley they're booming pretty good on their sales tax. They're building a new baseball facility, softball facility that's going to bring in a lot of people. They're going to do a water park, which is going to bring in a lot of people. We need to jump in on that and build off their success and make that exit, to feed off their success. I think that can happen. We have 2 truck stops at that exit since 2018. They wanted it to be industrial park because they thought retail was dead at the time. Well, apparently retail's not dead in Bradley because they're making a lot of money off of it. I think, you could do stuff like you need to think about maybe there's a big hotel chain that'll build a conference center. In Bourbonnais, like I want to do a fundraiser, a big one, there's no place to do it. There's no place to buy a shirt or pants or, I can buy it on Amazon and all that stuff, or I go to Kohl's, or there's no place, there's no breakfast diner. There's 5 or 6 in Bradley, a couple in Kankakee, there's even in Manteno. There's nothing for kids to do. You have to go to Orland Park. It's just there's so much that we're missing the boat on, and we need to get out there and find it. We need to be aggressive. I don't know if that can be done in 4 years, but some of it can be, put a dent on it. And they need to, Bradley brought in experts to tell them what can we invest our sales tax money in that will make us more money. And they didn't just think of that idea themselves. They had experts come in, and they said, this is the way to do it. Baseball, softball brings in people. The baseball, softball don't make money. It's the sales tax off gas and food and hotels. And we need to bring in somebody to help us with that. There's somebody that's successful.
The Goshen Battery Plant nearby Manteno, and then the rumors of a dormitory in the old Cigna building, I'm assuming pushed you to run. What's your stance on this development, and how would you handle community concerns about it?
Well, first of all, you got to be. I am not against batteries. I'm against the location. I'm against the possibility of a communist party coming in and being in our county. In the country, I'm against that. Was that going to be adult, possibly communist military age? Yes. I guarantee it was. There's no doubt about it. Was it going to be a immigration? I don't think so. I don't think that would never happen. But once they get the zoning changed and that, anybody can live there. And we have a moratorium on apartment complexes, and it was just not done right. I was at that meeting, and right away it was said, we don't know anything about it, and then they start to talk about what it was going to be like. Then I found out from my opponent. I said, maybe you didn't know. I said, but somebody knew. I know who knew. But he said, well, we knew because we had drawings, design plans. They've seen it. Maybe they didn't put together who was going to be in it. But if you connect the pieces, there's no doubt. I mean, thousands of people or however many people it was going to hold, aren't going to move to Bourbonnais, to work at that building. They were going somewhere. I'm just. There wasn't enough information. It was shoved down our throats. The Manteno plant, and the people up there. If I lived up there, I wouldn't be very happy. I live just south there, and I'm not happy. You just don't know what's going to happen.
All right. David Zinnani, candidate for Bourbonnais mayor, joining us this morning. So you mentioned, you used to be with the sheriff's department, Kankakee County Sheriff's Department.
Yep.
You retired. Got 30 years of service?
30 years.
Yeah. So how would you say your law enforcement background shapes your approach to public safety in Bourbonnais? Well,
the good thing about the sheriff's department is, I started under Bill Scroggins, then I had Bernie Thompson, then I had Tim Bukowski. I'm sorry, and every one of those guys, they trained their people as they advanced to someday take over that agency. So we always had 10 people who were trained and taught to take over a government agency, not just law enforcement. They send everybody to a place called Staff and Command. It's through Northwestern Illinois University, and you learn every aspect of running an agency, even a whole town. I mean, there's mayors. We've had several mayors that I've worked with, several police chiefs in different agencies. They move on to do bigger and better things. The problem with the Bourbonnais Police Department now is it's a different age. Law enforcement's changed an awful lot since I retired. So you need the right chief in that position and let them run the day-to-day activities and then stay out of it. As a mayor, I don't want to be involved in the law enforcement aspect any more than I have to be, but you have to have the right chief in that spot so they can make sure the public safety is covered in every aspect. We're short of officers. Once I started that, voicing my opinion on being short of officers, we've hired 2, possibly a third one on the edge, I guess, and we're still short. And that's a problem. We need a lot of people are in that. We don't want policemen. Then they find out that doesn't work. I want more. We need more in the school, more activity in the schools. We have a lot of schools in Bourbonnais. We pay half the school resource officer salary at Bradley High School. Maybe they need more than one guy. That's a big place. We need to be more involved in that. We have one officer for all the grade schools in the village of Bourbonnais. Quite a few of them. They do a good job with that. They always, they have cars placed before and after school, which enhances that safety. But maybe they need to get in the school a little more. Not necessarily when you go into a school as a school resource officer, you're not the cop in the school. You are teaching relationships with kids and teachers, and it's about relationships and building communication. That's what it's about. It's not about discipline. Cops aren't in the schools to discipline.
Okay. The Perry Farm annexation, the recent that happened, annexing it to Bradley, happened under your watch as Park District Board President. How do you respond to critics who might say you favored Bradley over Bourbonnais?
We gave Bourbonnais that opportunity. When Bradley first approached us, they wanted to enhance the west side of Bradley parks because they were doing so much on the east side. So they figured since we already had a great park, they would invest in our park. So they were going to redo our sidewalk, which is being done, redo the fence, make it safer for the Scarecrow event especially, and it's going to be a bike path that wraps all the way around. They're helping us. We're not paying a dime for that. They also promised to, put in $3 to $4 million in enhancements to the Perry Farm. We went to Bradley a couple times and offered them opportunity to talk to us about annexation, and there was no dialogue. No, they didn't want to do it. We actually asked them, to help us with Diamond Point, turf Diamond Point, and we could have done what Bradley's doing in Bourbonnais. It was just a no. Their Mike Van Mill, who's their village manager, he said yes. He's a baseball guy. So at that point, we said, hey, here's the deal. We don't make sales tax. We're not going to make the money off of it. You are. So we will give you Diamond Point, and you do it. And they did not want it. The annexation is purely financial. The fire station's closer. The police department's closer. They gave us free security for our large events, where we had to pay for that before. It doesn't change anything. We're still our own taxing body. They can't take the park from us. If anybody tries to take the park from us, it reverts back to the Department of Conservation for ownership. So we're our own entity, and we're annexed. It hasn't changed anything. It only changed the boundary, which we were on an island before. Part of the park is still actually in the village of Bourbonnais. Diamond Point's in the village of Bourbonnais. It didn't change anything for people. It changes for us financially.
Okay. Final question for you. Is there anything else you'd like to add this morning?
No, just, I'm in it for my family. I'm in it for the people, to be fiscally responsible. I'm going to change a lot of things and tighten our belt. You know, we never tightened our belt ever, I don't think. COVID, our businesses weren't supported during COVID, and I'm not sure they're being really supported very much now. So I'm open. I was always on call 24/7 when I was a policeman, and that's the same thing that I'm going to do now.
Is there somewhere where people can find out more about you and the other slate of candidates with the party choice or People's Choice Party?
Yeah, our slate's very good. We need to change them, take over the whole thing so we can get our ideas going. Usually, most of our stuff's on Facebook, and that's what we're using the majority-wise. So, People's Choice on Facebook, or my personal Facebook page, Dave Zinnani.
Okay. David Zinnani, People's Choice Party candidate for Bourbonnais Mayor. Thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, Mr. Tolley.
Yeah, you have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dave.